Destiny. It was never really a game that I was personally into, but through scrolling the forums of Marathon and just the overall consensus around Marathon, it's helped me understand on a personal level why I never was really into Destiny all that much. And I think the best way I can describe the overall consensus on Destiny fans with Marathon is that I think there's just a disappointment that another Destiny game was not released. We do not have Destiny 3 right now. We have a new Marathon game that is really nothing like Destiny. And that with Bungie's newfound focus on Marathon and trying to make Marathon the most successful game that they possibly can, the shift from Destiny has caused the game to just be in a really bad state and just kind of seeing the thing that they love just die a slow death. Personally, I've been following Bungie for a long time now, since Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox. And it will always be a core memory of mine, seeing my dad come home with that original Xbox excited and me and him playing together until it was time for me to go to bed. And you know, yesterday I was out getting dinner with my dad, and I looked across the table and I just noticed that, he's getting old, which really inspired me to make this video. I think that the time we spend doing things obviously matters a ton. It's hard to really put a value on that night I spent playing Halo Combat Evolved with my dad. Just like I think it's hard for you guys, you Destiny fans, to put a value on the nights you spent doing raids with the people you love. And so the point is, I've realized why I was so upset when Destiny came out. And no, it has nothing to do with the intrinsic value of Halo as a franchise and why I think Halo is a general good game aside from my nostalgia surrounding the game. The point was, I felt they were abandoning something that I loved. And to the extent that emotions can be reasonable or unreasonable, I feel like this was even an unreasonable way to feel about Bungie's future with Halo. But when Destiny came out, it still felt like a betrayal. I hated to see them move on from Halo because it felt like the official end of the Halo era. And thinking back on this is kind of crazy because at the end of Halo Reach, there is an explicit message that says, "Thank you, but goodbye," to all the Halo fans out there. But even the campaign itself, the way it's structured, how all the characters die, and how the campaign ends, how you began in Halo CE, I just thought it was a really nice tribute to Bungie's end with Halo. But the so-called good news at the time was that we knew Halo wasn't going anywhere because we knew that Microsoft was creating a whole new studio to create the next Halo game. And there was a little bit of optimism there because we thought, oh, this new studio, they could directly address some of the concerns that we had with the previous Halo titles and do things a little differently than Bungie. However, when Halo 4 came out in 2012, I was absolutely devastated by the quality of Halo 4. I knew playing through the campaign and playing that multiplayer that it was over for me with Halo. The Bungie formula that made Halo great was gone. And so by 2014, 2 years later, when Destiny 1 came out, I didn't have a desire to check it out. I didn't have a desire to try to get a feel of that Halo formula in Destiny. I was angry. And so here I am in 2026, playing Destiny for the first time, feeling that formula in the Halo weapons and understanding the new systems that they created that would have been quite unique at the time, which in turn has actually made me appreciate Halo more. And so my overall message here is that with Marathon releasing, it feels like it could be the end of the Destiny era to some fans, kind of like how I felt at the end of Halo Reach or the release of Destiny 1. And I'm not really a doomer on Destiny. I do think that Bungie is still going to be supporting Destiny, but if it is the end of Destiny, my appeal to you guys is to not take it out on the people who love Marathon and the Marathon community. My appeal to you is to appreciate the time that you had with Destiny and to understand and have personal acceptance of the great experience you had with it, and to understand that the studio just has to move on and that creating a new chapter doesn't mean that you have to forget the old chapter. And so take it from someone who's, I guess, starting to become unk status now and to get quite frankly pretty old. Someone who, I guess, is starting to understand the meaning of when my parents always said that life is too short. And guys, life is too short. Life is too short to hate on people who love something else. Life is too short to watch Steam charts and pull for the active failure of a game in a studio. Life is too short to argue on Twitter with a complete stranger about how bad a game is and how no one should play it. And these are things we're all guilty of, guys. This is emotions, intentions, especially with things that you love, like Halo or Destiny. They really can bring out the worst in you and also the best in you. And I do think this is related to just the general state of our world right now as well, and the polarizing environment that we're in, where it seems like everything has to be me versus them, my personal ideology versus those guys. And very importantly, I want to say I'm not telling you not to voice your opinion. And I do think that a lot of the polarizing environment in gaming, it being related to our polarized environment in the real world right now, does have some relation to how big gaming companies like EA, Bungie itself, Activision Blizzard, the major players have treated gamers over the years, and how companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and these activist organizations were intentionally trying to make games to serve a political message. So of course, I do think to a degree it is okay and healthy to be on guard, and I'm not asking you to let your guard down. All I'm saying is to not have your guard so far up. And so as time goes on, we'll get more games from the same studios, different upcoming great studios like Embark with Arc Raiders and the Finals. And the great thing about that I think is being lost right now is that we'll create new experiences with our friends, with people we meet in the game, and 20 years from now, we'll hopefully look back with great gratitude and nostalgia for these current games that have come out. And this kind of aligns with a lot of what the Burnt Peanut said. You know, you can play Call of Duty 100 until you're 86, and that's completely fine if that's you. But for those who like to see new things in gaming, new perspectives, new stories, new universes being created, I think that is a healthy thing, especially for these newer, younger generations to have, so that they can feel the same way that I feel with Halo, that you guys feel with Destiny, and maybe this new generation feels with Marathon.